Welcome students in our third video. Now in this video we will talk about free and fair election firstly. The true test of any election system is its ability to ensure a free and fair election process. If we want democracy to be translated into reality on the ground, it is important that the election system is impartial and transparent. The system of election must also allow the aspiration of the voter to find legitimate expression through the electoral results. Students, now we will move to our next topic. You already know that democratic election requires that all adult citizens of the country must be eligible to vote in the election. This is known as a universal adult franchise. In many countries, citizens had to fight long battles with the rulers to get this right. In many countries, women could get the right very late and often only after struggle. One of the important decisions of the framers of the Indian Constitution was to guarantee every adult citizen in India the right to vote. Till 1989, an adult Indian meant an Indian citizen above the age of 21. Means earlier the voting right were having by only the people who were having the age of 21. But an amendment to the Constitution in 1989 reduced the eligibility age of 18. Adult franchise ensures that all citizens are able to participate in the process of selecting their representative. This is consistent with the principle of equality and non-discrimination that we studied in the chapter on rights. Many people thought and many think so today that giving the right to vote to everyone, irrespective of educational qualification, was not right. But our constitution maker had a firm belief in the ability and worth of all adult citizens as equal in the matter of deciding what is good for the society, the country, and for their own constituencies. What is true of the right of vote is also true of right to contest elections. All citizens have the right to stand for elections and become the representative of the people. However, there are different minimum age requirements for contesting elections. For example, in order to stand for Lok Sabha elections, Lok Sabha assembly elections, a candidate must be at least 25 years old. There are some other restrictions also. For instance, there is a legal provision that a person who has undergone imprisonment for 2 or more years for some offense is disqualified from contesting election. Means that person can't contest election who is having any case on him. But there are no restrictions of income, education or class or gender on the right to contest election. In this sense, our system of election is open to all the citizens. Students, now we will move to our next topic. Several efforts have been made in India to ensure the free and fair electoral system and process. The most important among these is the creation of an independent election commission. Election commission to supervise and conduct elections. Do you know that in many countries there is an absence of an independent mechanism for conducting elections? Article 324 of Indian Constitution provides for an independent election commission for the superintendence, direction, control of the electoral roll and the conduct of elections in India. These words in the Constitution are very important, for they give the election commission a decisive role in virtually everything to do with elections. The Supreme Court has agreed with this interpretation of the Constitution. To assist the Election Commission of India, there is a chief electoral officer in every state. The election commission is not responsible for the conduct of local body elections, as we shall study in the chapter of local government. The state election commissioner work independently on the election commission of India, and each has its own sphere of operation. The election commission of India can either be a single member or a multi-member body. Till 1989, the Election Commission was single member. Just before the 1989 general elections, 2 election commissioners were appointed, making the body multi-member. Soon after the election, the commission reverted to its single member status. In 1993, 2 election commissioners were once again appointed and the commission became multi-member and has remained multi-member since then. Initially, there were many apprehensions about a multi-member commission. There was a sharp difference of opinion between the than Chief Election Commissioner and the other commissioners about who had how much power. The matter had to be settled by Supreme Court then. Now there is a general consensus that a multi-member election commission is more appropriate as power is shared and there is greater accountability. The Chief Election Commissioner presides over the election commission but does not have more powers than the other election commissioners. The CEC and the two election commissioners have equal powers to take all decisions relating to election as a collective body. They are appointed by the President of India on the advice of Council of Ministers. It is therefore possible for a ruling party to appoint a partition person to the commission who might favor them in the elections. This fear has led many to suggest that this procedure should be changed. Many persons have suggested that a different method should be followed that makes consultation with the leader of opposition and the Chief Justice of India necessary for the appointment of CEC and election commissioners. The Constitution ensures the security of the tenure of the CEC and election commissioners. They are appointed for a 6-year term or continue till the age of 65, whichever is earlier. The CEC can be removed before the expiry of the term by the President if both houses of Parliament make such a recommendation with a special majority. This is done to ensure that a ruling party cannot remove a CEC who refuses to favor it in elections. The election commissioner can be removed by the President of India only. Now we will talk about some functions of Election Commission of India. The Election Commission of India has a wide range of function. It supervises the preparation of up-to-date voter list. It makes every effort to ensure that the voters list is free of errors. It also determines the timing of elections and prepares the election schedule. The election schedule includes the notification of elections, date from which nomination can be filed, last date for filing nomination, last date of scrutiny, last date of withdrawal, etc. Third function we are having, during this entire process, the Election Commission has the power to take decision to ensure a free and fair poll. It can postpone or cancel the election in the entire country or a specific state or a constituency on the grounds that the atmosphere is violated and therefore a free and fair election may not be possible. The Commission also implements a model code of conduct for parties and candidates. It can order a re-poll in a specific constituency. It can also order a recount of votes when it feels that the counting process has not been fully fair and just. The Election Commission accords recognition to political parties and allots symbols to each of them. The Election Commission has very limited staff of its own. It conducts the election with the help of administrative machinery. However, once the election process has begun, the Commission has control over the administration as far as election-related work is concerned. During the election process, the administrative officer of the state and the central government are assigned election-related duty, and in this respect, the Election Commission has full control over them. The EC can transfer the officers or stop their transfers. It can take action against them for failing to act in a non-partisan manner. Over the year, the Election Commission of India has emerged as the independent authority which has asserted its power to ensure fairness in the election process. It has acted in an impartial or unbiased manner in order to protect and sanctity of the electoral process. The record of Election Commission also shows that every improvement in the functioning of the institution does not require legal or constitutional changes. It is widely agreed that the Election Commission is more independent and assertive now than it was till 20 years ago. Now students, we will move to our next topic, that is electoral reforms. Students, no system of election can ever be perfect, and in actual election process there are bound to be many flaws and limitations. Any democratic society has to keep searching for mechanism to make election free and fair to the maximum. With the acceptance of adult suffrage, freedom to contest elections, and the establishment of an independent election commission, India had tried to make its election process free and fair. However, the experiences of the last 55 years has given rise to many suggestions for reforming our election system. The election commission, political parties, various independent groups and many scholars have come up with proposal for electoral reforms. Some of these suggestions are about changing the constitutional provisions discussed in this chapter. First, we are having our system of election should be changed from the FPTP to some variant of the PR system. This would ensure that parties get seats as far as possible in proportion to the votes they get. There should be a special provision to ensure that at least one-third women are elected to the parliament and assemblies. Third, there should be stricter provisions to control the role of money in electoral politics. The election expenses should be paid by the government out of the special fund. Fourth, candidates with any criminal case should be barred from contesting elections, even if their appeal is pending before a court. There should be complete ban on the use of caste and religious appeals in the campaign. And there should be a law to regulate the functioning of the political parties and to ensure that they function in a transparent and democratic manner. These are but a few suggestions. There is no consciousness about these suggestions. Even if there was a conscience, there are limits to what the laws and formal provision can do. Free and fair election can be held only if the candidates, the parties, and those involved in the election process agree to abide by the spirit of democratic competition. Apart from legal reforms, there are two other ways of ensuring that elections reflect the expectations and democratic aspiration of the people. One is, of course, that people themselves have to more vigilant, more actively involved in the political activities. But these are limits to the extent of which ordinary people can engage in political on a regular basis. Therefore, it is necessary that various political institutions and voluntary organizations are developed and are active in functioning as watchdog for ensuring free and fair election. By doing all these things, the reforms can be implemented related to our election system. Students, with the completion of this topic, our chapter is also completed and you all are required to have a register for political science subject, and you can write important terms, back exercise questions on it. Chapter level resources can be revised by you people, and worksheet has to be also solved by you people on assignment sheets if it is available. Thank you so much.